Hello, it's Kim Malinowski. I'm checking the date. It doesn't seem like it should be September 14th, 2024. Time just seems to fly, doesn't it? I'm like, Halloween, yes. I'm ready for Halloween. I am not ready for Christmas or any of the winter holidays. They're coming fast though, aren't they? Um, it's been 2 weeks. I have to say that I will be getting a house next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to move in pretty soon, very soon. Um, I have to thank all of my friends that have let me stay 8 months. I just stayed a month so far with one friend and on and off with many others. So, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you everyone for your support and kind words. Um, During this time, it was a really random time, but very growth oriented, very growth. Mm. And I guess we all need those. And after it's over, I'll be like, oh, it's adventure. It has to be over though first. Okay. Um, I have to. I think I used these oracles last time. I have the Earth and Bone Oracle, which I think is just a terrific sort of like well, fall winter, but probably any time, but really fall winter. And then Inner Child Oracle, which pretty much every card fell out. It was like, here, Kim, this is the advice. Well, I try to take just five. All right. So we're gonna start with probably like the less fluffy. Both of them have really good messages. But one is just, a little bit more hardcore, I guess. So the first card, 12, the Rider. All right. And this really reminds me, well, it reminds me of a lot of things, but definitely like Death on a Pale Horse. Um, I'm a Highlander fan. Anyone likes TV series, I am a Mythos, a lover. And it reminds me very much of like that sort of feel. It's movement, quick decisions, progress. So not exactly what the character represents that I speak of, but there is like a sense of movement and time. Right. You are on the right path for your freedom. And I like that word freedom. Um, we usually, I think, use it almost wrong. Freedom is like, oh, well, I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Well, perhaps. But like there's also a sense of freedom, or you can do whatever you want. Like there's possibilities. There's growth, upward movement, change for good or bad, depending on the person, us. So freedom. You only need to persevere and put in the work. Focus on what you love doing. Don't let anything steer you away. Your fears are valid and relevant, but they do not hold power over you. And I have to speak truth to this that I am one of the most fearful people there is. My disability is really because of my anxiety, but I experience so much, you know, and I'm very blessed and lucky that I can do that. But like we all have that power, it's just rooted. We can get over our fears. What do you fear? Do not let it stop you. What gives you anxiety? Recognize it, attack it, do it. I'm the first to say that anxiety is awful. Okay. I mean, it rules my life. It makes me an addict to medication. But that medication allows me to move through life and experience things. So, what is worse, not living or taking pills? I mean, it just depends. I'm not saying like go join, get a bottle, of liquor and like woman or man up and then go forth. But we do have to have like some self care. And sometimes we have to find something that eases that fear and anxiety just enough so that we can go forth and really truly live our lives. You are learning how to strategize. See, strategy. You are beginning to understand where action and energy need to go to be self sustaining. This energy is fast paced and can't be slowed. Your spirit guide is saying that you need to practice meditating more often and clear distractions to create a stillness and space to hear them. You may be blocked by electronic devices or distractions and too much opposing energy that is getting in the way. You need to free yourself of toxins and poor particle wave interfering with spiritual messages. Let go of worry. You are strong and powerful. I'm like, I don't know if I go with all of that, but I have to admit that my Facebook account was blown up, and I didn't realize how addicted to Facebook I was till I was practically sobbing because I had no account. Now I had 2.5K, followers at the time, and I thought my life was over. Well, it wasn't. I was like, like, spoiler alert, right? It showed me how much social media was controlling me. So is it controlling you? Do you feel obligated all the time to like help others and retweet? And, yes, as a writer, I do. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired. So just take a moment. Friend, writer, sent me a postcard. And I'm like, that's better than maybe retweeting something for me. It's more, you know, validating. Do that for someone. Have them do that for you. My conscious expands daily. I am only limited by the limits I put on myself. That is our affirmation, the writer. I want to show you the back of these cards. Aren't they beautiful? Love them. I do. I don't know why. There's something about it. All right. Number one, shelter. Spiritual growth, accountability, healing. But like to me, when I picked shelter, I was just like, yes, of course. Of course, right? I lived 8 months homeless, just going around to other people's places. And yes, because of my money, but pretty much because I couldn't live at home because of toxins. I still don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to like stay there for like a week while I go on a dig and stuff. But like we need this shelter and respite, and that's with our friends, our family, and a physical dwelling. So yes, it says growth, accountability, healing, but there's something more physical, I feel, as well. It takes time and work to heal, and it isn't always a one-time fix. You may need to return to the shadow and difficult memories again until your mind stops repeating the negative and instead transforms it into an opportunity for growth and learning. After you let go of things that are holding you down, you can persevere. It's important to let go of any feelings of shame or guilt. All right. And I agree with that. I feel shame and guilt over a lot of things. And by trying to rework my brain and saying, well, yes, I'm having a report filed, but it's okay because it's not my fault that I'm wasting this person's time, right? That is filing the report. Why am I feeling badly when this other person did it? And that's why the report is being made, right? I mean, it's about perspective too. If somebody is wrong, and of course there's childhood wounds as well. Like this is just a wounding, or when I was doing an activity. And it's just like, when do we stop blaming ourselves? And yes, it has to go in our heads over and over and over. And I think that that's part of the process. I was very upset by this sort of um action experience. And I just kept replaying it. At first I was like, I'm not going to. But like the more I blocked it and tried to block it really, the worse it got until it just sort of snowballed and like took over an entire like thought pattern for over a week. And I had to eventually go, you know, have to report. And then after I reported, it's like, what do they think about me? Oh my gosh. And it's not my fault. It's not. It wasn't my fault. I'm not going to change. my perspective in like a negative way, I'm going to go forth and be better and bolder. And, and like once we turn that around and we realize it's okay. And when I, turned in the report, I hadn't heard from the person who I very much respect. Um, and I was terrified that I had ruined everything. I'm like, ruined what? Like it's like a friendship, like older brother sister relationship. Just it's not romantic at all. And I was just like, ah, he hates me for making him file a report. He hates me. But in my head, that's what's going on, right? Until you can laugh with somebody again, and you're like, oh, everything's okay. But I think we need to go a little faster than torturing ourselves for so long. I went weeks torturing myself. Let's not torture ourselves. Let's just sort of like hop along. Yes, repeat whatever we need to. Learn the lesson. Turn the thoughts around. So that means if you're blaming yourself, see the perpetrator or, or the parent or whatever, whoever, and see from their perspective and your perspective. And that does not mean they're right. But you can then say, well, they were wrong in this, and this is why, and it was not my fault because of blah, blah, blah. And somehow that heals us, lets us grow. And if not grow, lets us get beyond. And I think that that is important. Replace the memory with a new one. Picture yourself in that situation and consider what you would have done differently to avoid causing yourself unwanted experiences. And this is where I feel like this is more victim blaming. Like it's very microaggression-y, and it's like, oh, it isn't what it's really saying, but it feels like that. It is not your fault. Whatever happened, if there is like shame and guilt and awfulness, first of all, it's not your fault. Even if you are the one that perpetrated something against you, as somebody else, right? It's not your fault. Something happened. You learned a different pattern. You'll get past it and learn the lesson. Accept that you're a human being, assume accountability, and forgive yourself. Make the conscious decision to learn from your mistakes. Accept that you have evolved and are no longer the same person. Allow yourself to let go of the emotions since they belong in the past and you are now living in the present. Those emotions are not indicative of who you are. You may feel compelled to slow down and spend time in nature, meditate, or engage in a healthy activity that allows you to enjoy yourself. I always say write because I'm a writer. You don't have to write, but sometimes it helps. It helped me. Just writing that report as an example, it helps. Writing about people that have hindered or hurt me helps. It also, okay, random, okay, but we have to keep field notes, or like I do. We're supposed to. I no longer like have to because I graduated right with my cat technician, and so you could. I know exactly like what happened because like in it I'll be like, I'm so angry about blah blah blah, and I'm immediately there as soon as I read it. And it's both bad and good because I can tell you exactly, like down to probably like shirt colors, what is going on at the time that I'm angry, right? And that's good or bad. But it is something like mm, that holds fast in our memories. Good or bad, it does. All right, the affirmation: I am whole and do not need to chase anything in order to be complete. I am aligned with what I've learned and how I have grown. I am better, wiser, stronger because of my experiences and lessons. I think that's a really good affirmation. It goes well with our next card. 20, time. What does it say? Planning, making decisions, taking risks. I always think I think that's interesting when we talk about time. I think it's like an idea of it's ticking away. It's the sand is going through the hourglass And we only have a limited amount of time to do what we want to do. And we have to both choose what we want to do, and then we have to execute it and do it and run. We don't have a lot of time. Planning, making decisions, taking risks. Do everything you want to do before your time is up. Live the life you want. Don't wait for anyone or anything. Don't get to the end of the road with any regrets. If there's something you want to do, then do it. Now is the right time. Less thinking, more doing. Stop fearing the unknown. Stop doubting and start imagining all the positive possibilities. Nothing is set in stone. Have the courage and willpower to try. The universe and your spirit guides have your back. Your spirit team wants the best for you. They want you to enjoy this life to the fullest. Lessons are presented to you that you must learn so that your dreams and desires can align perfectly. Go through what you need to experience and feel. Learn to heal. Going through it is the only way to get to what you want. Make positive changes if you aren't happy. You have you hold the power for your own happiness. Exude gratitude and it'll all work out. I'm all about the gratitude. I admit it. Like I don't have a gratitude journal anymore. I used to, but I have, oh God, like the amount of gratefulness is un like unconditional gratefulness. I don't know how to say it. I am perpetually grateful for different experiences and different people. And I feel like going with like more of authentic, not like Facebook necessarily, which is my persona, but being authentic and like just almost like like how people say grace at before dinner. I don't. I should put that out there. I am very, very pagan. But I like it's that idea. Like I say grace almost with every experience and every person. I can be angry. Like I'm angry right now. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. It's a good thing. Yeah, I'm angry. I shouldn't say anything else other than that. You could tell. Uh, but I am so grateful. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for myself, self-restraint. And I'm grateful for the gentleman that I'm mad at because I have to be grateful for him. He's part of my life, part of me. What's she gonna do? Right? We have the choice not to choose others. We have the choice not to be grateful. But I think saying grace for everything, for every experience and after, it's a great way to live. I am not the positive person. I am goth to the damn core. I wear black and I would be in full goth gear if I could get away with it in my non-professions. And yet, even in negativity, okay, there's something positive. You can see the dark side of things and see the beauty in that. I mean, like, that's what makes a poet, right? The smallest thing that most people are like, oh my gosh, a poet can make into anything. And I don't mean like just like a poet as in a writer. I mean the archetype, the lover, the person that sees in small things as such beautiful and overwhelming awe. Maybe that's a better word than gratitude. It's awe. See the world with awe. Like awe comes from awful. Fearing God is awful, all powering. Well, look at everything as more powerful than you in some ways. Okay, I'm not saying like, oh, the snail is, more powerful than you, but the experience. Let the experience wash over you, good or bad, and then be grateful. Thank you for the experience and go forward. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not perfect. I'm certainly not perfect at it. I obsess. But once the obsession's over, then you can go forward. All that circular thinking leads you still down the path, just a little slower. And maybe we can consider that contemplation and meditation. I get angry with myself, but why get angry when we can be more grateful? Okay. 33, beasts, conflict, competition, oppressors. And they don't take inversions, but this is inverted. So just take it as you do. The others I did not feel called to say anything about. That one I did for all right. I didn't read this before, so I don't know. The wolf that would subdue you to his control and conformity is lacking courage and integrity. Remember, separately from the pack, they are not powerful. They are threatened by you and envious of you. They wish they had the courage to be brave like you, to stand emancipated and free in their individuality. But they cannot, so they attack you. Their opinions, on other hand, are only valid if they take it to the stage, enter the arena to fight for what they believe in and what they want, just as you have. They will criticize from their cheap seats, all in order to drain your energy and steal your power. Remove yourself from circumstances where you can be vulnerable to their attack. Allow them to dwell in their fears. Let them scream from the cheap seats and remain unbothered. When they understand they cannot diminish your light and feed from your energy, they'll move on. Let them go in love. Do not pay them any mind. Those who belittle others prove that they are small. They operate from low vibration, trying to pull you down. Okay, anyone that knows me knows I don't really do the low high vibrations. So take that as you will. I don't understand like this vibration thing. I understand what it people say it means, but I don't feel it. When I see somebody that's low vibration, I see potential. I don't see low vibration. Okay. So think about that. All right. Language is very important to me and it has never resonated when they say vibrations. Separate yourself and sympathize that they must be in tremendous amounts of fear and pain to try to inflict it on another. And it's true when we lash out, when I lash out, I want to hurt the other person because I want them to hurt as bad as me. It's not good. I'm not saying it's nice or kind or anything like that. That's where it comes from. I mean, I can understand that. Like on like an animalistic yes, human body aspect, absolutely. It's from this deep wounding of whatever the wound is and wanting to others to feel it too. I have a feeling it has to do with some sort of like we want bonding of some sort. Like yes, it's a lashing out in anger, but there's something in there that we want companionship. We can find companionship elsewhere in a different way. It is not for you to educate them or help them. They've been inundated with other people's beliefs. They want them to be fearful and put down. Therefore, they're typically incapable of reason. To release their beliefs is to question their own reality, and they are not ready to do that. I'm not using the word low vibrational, just know it's there. People who cannot trust their inner knowing are lost and unfortunate souls. They can change. I want you to put in here that they can change. You might not be able to change them, but they can change. Let them go in peace. Focus on yourself and those who bring you love and generosity. You may be facing a time when you feel alone, but you are never alone. Your guides are with you and showering you with love. I am no longer feel all right, so they didn't do this grammatically. I no longer feel obligated to live according to others' expectations. I live my life according to my beliefs. I forgive those who may have imposed their beliefs on me. I let go of others' expectations and any feeling of obligation I may have accumulated. Believe what you personally want to believe in. Feel what you want to feel. Go out and do what you want and need to do. Don't listen to other people's fears that they are placing on you. I hear other people telling me their fears about me. And can't to be authentic, you can't you can listen, but you can't take it in. Or you can take it in, but still go out and do and take it as a warning or a caution or something. All right, our final one of this deck is 40, the stand. Courage, determination, fearlessness. Fearlessness. This is what we need right now. This is what we need in the world, in the country. I don't even know what it says, but fearlessness. Okay. You are entitled and worthy, so give yourself permission to speak up, to ask questions. These tiny nudges from the spirit world are a gentle reminder that you are not powerless in life. You have free will, and you are entitled to the greatest amount of abundance and fulfillment. Your spirit allies indicate they can only give you lessons and skills you need to take action. It is up to you to manifest and create. And there's that word manifest. We're like, what's manifesting? It's not just dreaming. Oh, that's part of it. It's active. Do the steps, baby steps, all the way until you hit your dream. And sometimes we hit a dream and a goal, and we're like, that's not what we really want. Oh, I've been there. Okay. I've hit like, oh, I'm a writer. I have books. It's not enough. So then what is enough? We have to keep going, up the mountain, around it, any way that we can scale it. We need to just keep going. Keep in mind that you are a force to be reckoned with. You have the ability to conquer any barriers that are thrown in your path. You are empowering yourself. Have faith in yourself and trust that opportunities will come your way to help you achieve your goals. Vulnerability can help you build confidence. In your truth, you'll find power and courage. You can begin to recognize how Spirit's lessons have helped you adapt and grow in order to help you deal with upcoming events and occurrences. I certainly need that. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. I'm sure everyone feels it, the same sort of energy. Lots of stuff going on. We just have to take it in and go through it and conquer. You always have the opportunity to improve your physical and emotional well-being. Make sure you're on the same page when it comes to boundaries. Ensure you clarify if someone misunderstands you. By ensuring that your intentions are accurately heard, you may be assured that you're not the one who's causing the conflict. Affirmation. It's okay to make mistakes. I honor myself. I am exactly who I need to be this very moment. And I want to emphasize very moment. In the next moment, we're going to be a different person. And that's just as valid and just as good. And it's okay to move on, to be different. We're allowed to be different. So many people are like, you're not the same as you used to be. But you're not supposed to be the same as you used to be. We're supposed to grow, be different, right? Okay. Inner child. Like I said, they were all like, yeah, you need all of the advice. Yeah. Okay. 16. Can't see it yet. I don't think you can see this. All right. I am worthy and deserving of reward. I love the blue bunnies. Refuel. Benny's been working hard. Between school, chores, and play, he practically run his paws. He's so excited about all this running around that he hardly wants to stop. Once he sits down for a meal, he remembers how important it is to refuel for the busy days ahead. Yesterday, I had a migraine. Why did I have a migraine? Stress. But I didn't eat. Added to the migraine. Once I ate, I was like, oh, wow, that was a good dinner. Migraine's gone. We need to take stock and know what our bodies need. Whatever it is, if it's vitamins, if it's sunlight. Oh, I'm a sun person. And the sun is ending, so I have a lamp. We just need to know. Have you been feeling tired, run down, or burnt out? Do you rise each day dreading the work ahead of you? Is the daily grind wearing you down? You have been working hard for a long time. Strategies put into place to combat fatigue may no longer be working. Excuse me. Past refuges may no longer provide the replenishment that is solely needed. This card asks you to examine whether your current workflow is sustainable and to take steps to correct any imbalance. Nourish yourself appropriately to meet the demands of your work. Nourishment isn't limited to food, spa days, taking time off for hobbies, spiritual practice, exercise, and other acts of self indulgence can be equally replenishing. I'm going on an archaeology dig at the beginning of October, and I am looking forward to it. I'll be very nervous at the time, but I love the energy and the activity and the people, I get to talk to that are new, that are different, and the dirt and the exercise and the achy pains and everything, and like that's a sort of like an indulgence for me. We have all different types of indulgences. Indulgence is also a great way to celebrate your accomplishments. Remember, you are worthy of spoiling yourself and being spoiled. Stopping to refuel is an act of self care, a positive reminder that you are worthy of reward for your efforts. It's time to refuel. Affirmation. Sorry, that was former Twitter. Repeat the following affirmation 3 times or until you are free of doubts and insecurity. It feels wonderful to reward myself. I am worthy and deserving of reward. And it doesn't have to be food, like it said. I have everyone knows. I mean, like I have a book about it, so I guess I could talk about it. I've started eating. So sometimes like I will restrict and I won't have the meal. But I've been trying to, have the dessert. Like I have had a cake fetish. I don't know. Like there's different types of cake at this bakery. I never know which cake is gonna be there. I don't even eat all of the cake, but I buy the cake and I have a bite. Give the cake away with the bite out. And like that's like a different type of indulgence, but like for someone that didn't eat at all and had anorexia, it's pretty good. I thought it was fun for those in the US. I'm the leader of my life. Vote. Be decisive. 11. Sometimes Benny finds it's difficult to make decisions. He's a nice bunny who sees the good in everyone and everything, so it can be hard for him to make choices that impact others. That's right, for Benny isn't always what's right for others. But Benny knows that if he doesn't make a choice, one will be made for him. Generally speaking, it's better to decide than have a decision made for you. Ceding control of your life puts another in the driver's seat and makes you a spectator in trust. Navigating your own path and taking responsibility for your choices is an essential part of growth. We keep talking about growth. All these are about growth. Without the courage to pick a course or stick to it, we can default into a directionless existence that does not satisfy us or reflect who we truly are. This card asks you to be more decisive in life. Exercise your agency by going over what you want, free of fear and doubt. Don't let self limiting beliefs shackle you. Trust your intuition and have the courage to take charge and walk your path. The more you turn inward for guidance and direction, the better you will get at hearing the wise, decisive voice within. Like training a muscle, the more you practice acting decisively, the stronger the reflex will become. Eventually, the instinct to trust yourself will override any external voice or influence that may try to entice you into unhelpful, doubtful thinking. Your internal compass will strengthen until connecting with your inner guidance is second nature. You know what is best for you. Trust yourself and act from a place of confidence. And I have to admit that while I was reading that, I was really thinking, and hopefully you couldn't tell that I was distracted. Like I on like digs and stuff. There's a woman who goes, "You've done it again." And I didn't, what did I do? And the answer is, I didn't make a decision. An archaeologist, will be like, you can pick here or here to be, and I'm like, oh, wherever you need me, instead of making a decision. So when I was reading this, I was like, I need to decide. Affirmation. Repeat the following I am the leader of my life. By following my intuition and trusting what's right, I am directed towards truth. Number 5, treat yourself. This is like awesome. I love this chocolate. Benny loves a treat at the end of a big day. Some of the older buddies scold him for snacking on chocolate covered carrots. Fortunately, Benny knows it's okay to enjoy what he loves without guilt. Balance makes Benny healthy, happy bunny. It can sometimes feel like life has too many rules that we must contort ourselves to every day to meet the expectations of others. Rules exist to keep us safe and healthy. They provide structure in our organizations, um, boundaries in our relationships, and security in uncertain times. They can help us develop healthy, helpful habits for life. Most of the time, it's in our best interest to follow them, but not always. Sometimes rules really are meant to be broken. If you've been feeling tired, run down, or let down, this card encourages you to take a break from routine. Yes, yes, yes. Tomorrow is a birthday that I am helping celebrate at the Renaissance Festival. Change, different, right? Uh, Free yourself of rigid routine and do something fresh and exciting. What would you do? What would you do most want to do? Some of these sentences. It's not me. This is it. What would you most want to do right now? If it's within your power and doesn't impact yourself or others in a harmful way, do it. Binge watch the new series, buy a cake even though it's nobody's birthday, or get your hair styled in a fun, crazy way. I don't know. Can you see the sparkles? I was having fun yesterday. Enjoy a special treat. You've earned it. Affirmation. When I treat myself to life, I am treated well by life. This is at the bottom of the deck, and I had to take it after I finished. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to take any more, but I had to. I think that before I read it, which I don't know what it says, I think that I feel this way, all tied up, waiting for others, waiting for myself, not knowing what's happening next, not knowing what steps to do next, and all tangled. It's Christmas in Blueboro, and Benny can't wait to celebrate, caught up in the excitement and eager to open his presents. Benny gets himself tangled up in a ribbon. Once he slows down and thinks, he's able to untangle himself and enjoy the lovely gifts. Sometimes we can become so focused on the end result that we forget taking our time is essential to success. Ooh, I like that. When discovering or manifesting our gifts, innate or earned, material or immaterial, it's important to be patient and proceed with loving care. Cultivating a skill takes time. Awakening talents from previous incarnations takes patience and insight. If we rush into things and try manifesting before we are ready, we can become entangled in the process or even halt our progress entirely. We get so stuck and box ourselves in and scared and repeating all the thoughts over and over, but not getting past them and not changing the the the, the image or what, like what happened that we're not to blame. It's so stuck. We have to untangle ourselves. I have another archaeology sort of thing. All right. Uh, the archaeologists are taller than me by a lot. All right. This guy, he knows his stuff. I'm falling behind him, and we're putting in shovel test pit. Okay. So I'm not digging, but I'm putting in like the flags that say, what number. Okay. And he goes forward, and I go behind him, and I am covered in briars, head to toe, tangled, cannot move forward. I hand him the last flag, but he doesn't come back. He does not untangle me. It's up to me to untangle myself. I had cuts and puncture wounds all the way down. I almost fell because it was around my ankles, all the way to my head. And I had to go head, shoulders, slow down, waist, legs, around ankles. My hands, sorry. My hands are briars. They're getting punctured and cut as I go down. But I am unwrapping myself. And I got out without help, amazingly. But I was bleeding. And I'll finish the story, right? So then I get there, and gentleman is like, "Damn, you have a gash in your forehead." No, really. It's like, we can get, like band-aids and and I'm like, no. Another archaeologist is like, we have a first aid kit, Kim. They don't see all the puncture wounds. I'm wearing black, so you can't see the blood. I mean, it is me. I get hurt a lot. I know to wear black. And I was like, yes, let me bleed. I was hot. I was spicy. But I had just untangled myself painfully. And there's something about not having to be rescued that makes you feel very powerful. So if we can do that in any sense, anytime during the day, and untangle ourselves and make ourselves more powerful, we should. That person isn't going to come necessarily that'll help us untangle, or they'll come much later when we could have already been free. This card asks you to have patience with the process and proceed with caution when working with your talents. The gifts we are born with are precious. They are meant to be discovered through our life's journey, not rushed through with a single instance. If we approach discovery with wonder and let patience temper our excitement, as where awe is, and to let patience temper our excitement, our experience can be light and fun as well as rewarding. Life is full of precious gifts. Take your time unwrapping them. There is no need to rush or feel impatient. All things happen as they are meant to. Affirmation. I am grateful for the blessing of my unique gifts. I am open to receiving the universe's gifts, and I'm gifted to receive. Like that. Our second to last card is Fly Free. And we got this card. I don't know, I'm not shuffled, but last time we got this card, and I think we got one of the others before that about eating carrots, self care. Benny loves flying his kite above the clouds. Sometimes when he dreams at night, he imagines he's drifting off above the ground, weightless, worryless. Benny dreams that he keeps rising until Bunnyburrow is a speck on the rolling wave of green, and he's floating amongst the stars. When he wakes, he knows he has tasted true freedom. There's that word again, freedom. And wouldn't it be nice if we could leave our anxieties? I would like to leave my anxieties. And maybe one day I'll learn how. Maybe we'll all learn how. Freedom is a process of surrender, of letting go of what anchors you to lower dimensional reality. Okay. Let's just say freedom is a process of surrender, of letting go to what anchors you to fear, suppression, to self doubt. For some people, this means choosing not to partake in earthly pleasures and living a life of pious reflection and isolation from society. For others, it means casting aside limiting social, cultural, or religious mores to engage with life in an uninhibited manner. No path of freedom is superior or right. Choose a path that is right for you. This card encourages you to accept opportunities and freedom in your life. Have you been holding yourself back from pursuing a lifestyle, hobby, or career outside of fear of rejection? Have you been putting aside your dreams and desires to embody ideals of another? Do not feel beholden to the opinions of others. Those are not worthy of your time or energy. Eventually, they may come to accept you who lives in freedom, but they may not. Acceptance from those who share your ideals and interests is far more valuable. Release your desire for perfection and accept the universe and embrace freedom. It's time to be wholly yourself. Let go and learn and let go and lean in with trust. But I think learn also works. I am free when I let go of all I am expected to be. All I must be is who I truly am. And I was called to read back, I am the best self when I am truly me. I'm gifted and grateful for all I receive. I treat myself to life and am treated well by life. I am the leader of my life. I am worthy and deserving of reward. Okay. Our final card. My life is a feast of opportunity. We also got this one time. The Hungry Bunny. A good one to end on. Benny's got a grumbly tummy. Luckily, Ma Blue has been busy in the kitchen with the burrow's biggest carrot roasted and steaming on the table. Benny can't rush to the dinner table quick enough. Why wait? Everything he needs is right in front of him. There is a feast before you. A banquet table has been laid with all your favorite foods, yet you refuse to eat. You may be hungry lately, covetous of the feast of others. This card comes to draw your attention to the bounty already before you. You have everything you need to live a happy, fulfilled life. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, use the resources available to grow what seeks to grow and change what wishes to change. If you've been waiting for the perfect conditions to fall into place, know that you are ready and have everything you need to succeed. You may not have all you desire, but you know the universe will deliver what you need as you need it. Resist the urge to hoard what you have out of fear of lack or loss. Sharing with others creates a cycle of giving and receiving that enriches both parties. Be aware of those who seek only to take. Never give solely out of guilt or obligation. Check in with yourself and listen to your intuition when divining the intentions of others. If you act with prudence rather than suspicion, you will limit loss or remain open to others. The buffet is before you. It is all you can eat. Pick up your culturally and begin. Affirmation. I eat my fill from the feast of the universe. Endless abundance is available to me. I think that is a absolutely wonderful message to end on. I hope that you have a wonderful week and this is timeless. So whenever you find this, I mean I do specify when I film and I will put it in the post, but be well, everyone. Have a truly delightful week. And feast at that banquet. Until next time, bye bye.